race. Kevin Harvick on pole. Qualifying rained out yesterday, so the field lined up according to the provisions in the NASCAR rulebook. So owner points for most of the front of the field. That's why Harvick gets the top spot, even though he's a Winston Cup driver. David Stremme in James Finch's #1 this week. Rookie driver with his second go here at Richmond. He'll be one to keep an eye on tonight. Ashton Lewis, hometowner, Chesapeake, Virginia. Less than an hour's drive from here. Important race for him. Greg Biffle driving the Evans Motorsports #7 again this week.
Now, where does it start with it goes from the points?
Goes from the owner points
entry.
To the entries, to former champions, to... There's a whole list of things in the rule book.
Just tell them who's in the race.
That's what we're doing. Matt Kenseth going to come from way back in row 14. Saw him come by. Johnny Sauter, row 15. See Tony Raines doing double duty this weekend. Pretty good car in Winston Cup practice. He's from row 17 tonight. He finished 3rd here in the last race back in May. Former champion Steve Grissom in the field. And Casey Atwood going to start scratch in the field. A lot of cars here trying to qualify for this race. Most of them had to, all those guys had to go home without even a chance to run a time trial lap. And Kevin Harvick and Scott Riggs bringing the field down for the start of the Food Night 250 at Richmond. We're underway. David Green looking on Scott Riggs.
Just not quite enough. And this is a racetrack that has a tendency, you can drive the car in real deep off the high line. It lets itself do that, so it evens out about the middle towards the exit of the corner, because the guy's going to be on the inside. He's got the shortest way around, but the guy can drive it way deep on the outside.
Exactly. This is the race for 6th place. Brian Vickers in the 5, holding off Jason Keller in the 57, and they're double wide behind them. Shane Neal in the white 48, and Scott Wimmer is in 23. Ideally, at a lot of racetracks, a track where the outside lane's a little faster than the inside lane or has a little more grip would really give you some great racing.
And that's what's great about Richmond. With the 2 ends and with it being a D-shaped oval, as you see we go into turn 3, right there is the tightest part of turns 3 and 4 is the entry right there. As through the corner there, the radius of the corner actually increases, so they can actually turn the wheel to the right and gain speed, where turns 1, as they go in the corner here, now it's a decreasing radius, so as they turn into the corner, it gets tighter and tighter and tighter. Right there's the tightest part of the corner.
Wimmer and David Stremme there racing after Shane Neal got by Wimmer. There's Stremme in the 1. 26-year-old, South Bend, Indiana. 11th race of the season. 5 top 10s in his first 10 Busch Series starts for Stremme. How about Kenseth? That vibration bothering him much? Will he up tonight? What? Started 28th.
Whoa, Stremme got way high up in turn 2. Going to lose a bunch of spots right there.
Yeah, let's see, he was 10th. He just lost 16th to Mike Wallace in the 4th. And he's probably going to catch his heartbeat a little bit too.
Yeah, but the good thing, there's a lot of racing though, so whatever the mistake was or whatever happened down there, you can be sure he's probably not going to let that happen again for a while.
So Stremme now racing Ashton Lewis for 16th and 17th. Lost 6 spots on that exchange. See that decal on the hood of Ashton Lewis's car. Lewis, I mentioned a minute ago, is a native of Virginia, and his sponsor, the Civil Air Patrol, they're trying to help raise money for the Pentagon Memorial Fund. They're trying to build a memorial to the victims of the 9/11 plane crash there, both on the airplane and in the building. And they're trying to raise some awareness by running that decal on the hood of their car tonight here in Richmond. Talking about cars on the move here. Talked about Matt Kenseth moving up a lot of spots. How about Casey Atwood? Started last, up to 27th, trying to take 26th away from Shad Blunt in the 26. That's pretty good little run.
Yeah, it looks real good. His car's working pretty good on the bottom and watching the last couple laps.
Came from deep in the field and finished 10th at Darlington last Saturday. So Casey's got it going here early at Richmond.
And I'm going to predict a car that works that good on the bottom this early in the race is a car that's probably going to be good all night. It's normally 15 to 20 laps into the run, the tires start giving up, and you'll see a lot of guys moving from that bottom lane to the top lane. We're 13 laps in, and Casey's still going really good on the bottom, so it'll be interesting to see how long he can stay down there before the tires wear out.
Back at Richmond, caution is out. Joey Clanton has just crashed in turn 4 in the 27 car. And he has used up both ends of that one.
We knew it couldn't last too long.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't mean that in a bad way by any means.
Well, as always, told you when something happens and we're in commercial, we'll come back immediately and show it to you. We are under caution because of a crash involving that car for the first time. 17.
And it's shorter than it was when it started.
Yes, it is.
You know what? For as hard as he hit it, it's not in bad shape.
It's like he did it all by himself. Oh.
That would be a Richmond rookie lesson.
Oh, we get to ride on board.
Looks like he just got in there hard.
He really got it hard. That's the camera in the back bumper.
That's how you get your trim spa sponsorship a little extra time. Just perfect. Wedge it up to where the camera can see it a little easier.
That's where they restart.
Hornaday taking a look.
Oh, Riggs.
In the wall.
Did he
Riggs
get squeezed into it?
Yeah. Yep,
Championship
trouble.
leader's got big damage.
He may have a left front tire down, but
He's got the left front fender pushed in. The right side's all caved in.
he's got some trouble on the left front, that's for sure.
What's up, Dave?
Well, the reason he was back there in 4th anyway and racing with Hornaday, or back in 3rd, I should say, David Green got by him when he got a little bit high and got in the loose rubber and things that collect on the high side of the track. Scott radioed in and said, I just got up in the stuff, got it all over my tires, and that's why I lost the position, and it may have cost him having to race garbage.
Check it out. Here's what happened to Scott Riggs off turn 2.
You see Hornaday underneath him, and actually slid, got loose, bounced into the 10 car of Scott Riggs, and unfortunately, Scott got the worst of it.
And with both of the front fenders pushed in like that, I can't imagine that car will not get tight here in the next 5 or 6 laps and be quite a handful for him.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what, this 43 car's flying. Johnny Sauter, he just took 8th spot from Shane Meal. He started 30th. We're only 44 laps into the race.
I'll tell you guys, we've been watching this kid for the whole, well, I guess for the last 2 years now when he was running in the ASA series, and he dominated in ASA. And he is a kid that is one of those hands-on type of guys that he likes to get in there, run his own program, works on his own cars, prepares his own cars for each event. So, I mean, this is a kid that we're going to see probably be in a Winston Cup car here in the next couple of years. And we haven't heard a lot from him, obviously, but he's a kid that definitely is one to keep an eye on here.
Trouble turn 2. It's Shane Wallace. He has been up into the wall with the right side of his car.
No yellow yet.
Scott Riggs is saying, please,
really.
give me a caution. Well, Shane gets at the pit road. We stay under green. Shane Wallace, a 19-year-old, originally from Utica, New York, been running the Hooters Cup Series on a limited basis this year. Ooh, wow.
If you get more than 2 lanes above the groove here, it's basically 2 lanes wide, and if you get above that, the little bit of marbles that are up there in the seat, it has to have rubber on it for it to have grip. Yeah. So if you get above that, if your car's a little tight, you're probably going to slide up loose first into the wall. If you're a little bit loose, you're going to wall to get that.
Watching Scott Riggs continue to slide backwards into the field. Tim Fita will go and buy him here. That's going to be for 13th and 12th places.
Yeah, he's in trouble. Like Tony said, without those fenders like that car is going to be a handful. He won't be able to turn that car.
I will say this, with as much damage as he does have on the front, I can't imagine that he probably knocked the toe out a little bit, or hopefully he didn't get the rear end, but for as much damage as he has, he's actually doing a pretty good job with it.
Tell you, another guy flying, talking about Johnny Sauter, Dave Blaney in that 31 car, started 42nd. Before the caution flag came out there the first time, he was 21st. And that first caution came out at 18 laps into the race. Now he's moved up to 13th and trying to take, just took 12th away from Scott Riggs. Hear that Brian Vickers has just been issued a warning from race control, instructed to settle down. Apparently he just gave Johnny Sauter a little bit of a rough it up with the front bumper of his car. Matt, you got something for us?
Alan, under that first caution, the 38 with Casey Kane restarted outside of the top 30. Radio communication between Casey and Wes Ward. He said the car is really, really tight. I think we should pit. Wes said no, stay out. And then they looked up. Next time by, Casey's coming down pit road. They made a significant track bar adjustment and put a rubber in the rear. He says the car is now cutting very, very well. He likes the way the car is running now, especially up off the corner.
So the driver vetoed the decision to stay out.
Yeah, boy.
All right.
When you want something changed, you make them change it.
Absolutely.
I can see Wally doing something like that. I wonder what would have happened if he stopped and they refused to come over the wall to change
That's
tires.
happened. That's happened.
54 laps complete here at Richmond. Record crowd on hand for a Busch Series race here, including some folks who skipped school to be here.
Yeah, we have some spelling problems, and the funny thing is, Dallenbach and I are sitting here going, Alan doesn't actually look bad up there. But we have to change this a little bit. We have to take another L and an E and an N, and we're going to cross out Benny's name, and we're going to change it to Smoke.
She's sitting there saying, how long are you going to make me hold this sign?
Yes. She's going,
Look at her face.
Now, you know what she's actually
Mad.
saying? She's actually saying right now, I hope my teacher doesn't see me with this sign.
Yeah, that's all right. She got a hall pass today. Kevin Harvick's the leader. David Green is second. Hamilton Jr. third. Ron Hornaday fourth. And Greg Biffle is fifth. This is for sixth place as Johnny Sauter in that 43 continues his march to the front.
I'm telling you, my boy's coming here in the 43 car.
July. Yeah, he was so impressive in that car.
And remember what we talked about earlier in the show as far as the cars moving up the racetrack? He is still on the bottom of the racetrack 65 laps into this run here, so his car is working really good. He's right down there on
Casey Atwood. Oh, there's a little smoke there. Rubbing. Good stuff. 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th positions. David Stremme getting in the middle of it. Side by side all the way around. One of the great things about this Richmond track. Love it. All right, Sauter's got the run on him now, and that'll be sixth place.
Yeah, that was just a matter of time.
And how about Scott Riggs? He's fallen back now to 13th place. Kind of settled in line there, Dave, and it looks like some of the smoke that was showing from that left front fender's eased up, too.
He radioed into his crew, I'm doing all I can, guys. Crew Chief Doug Randolph got the whole team together behind the pit box. He drew a diagram of the car. He showed every man where he wanted them to be when Scott finally pitted, what damage he wanted them to fix. They have a plan, and if they can just get a caution, Scott believes he can drive the car and not fall down too far before they can come in and fix that.
He's running he's running 13th now. He's a half a lap behind the leader, Kevin Harvick, as Harvick comes up to complete lap 74 of 250. We have a new leader at Richmond. As we come back live on TNT, Johnny Sauter in the 43 has completed his march through.
You know we're going to jump on you on that. You're having a hard
I know.
But you're
easy for you to say.
Thank
Funai.
you.
Well, you were thinking Funai.
I actually
That's
was,
what it
yes,
was.
the name of the race. Let's show you how Johnny Sauter made the pass for the lead on Kevin Harvick. We have an excellent replay crew ready to bring you all this.
Here it is. Actually, Kevin just pretty much pulled over. Go ahead. You're fast. I'll follow you for a while. That was a great replay.
It was.
Unbelievable.
Who got that for us? BP, is that you?
How'd you like that, guys?
Oh, it's perfect.
I just hit the thing and said play, and it's magic.
BP, what's that black knob there on your right? Twist that.
Oh, this does something about rolling the tape back and forth. I'm not sure exactly. Yeah.
BP.
I guess you got to stop it here someplace. Hey, Mark, where do you stop it?
BP.
Stop. There you go.
Put the machine back in Mark's very capable
Oh, boy.
hands.
Here we go.
Okay.
This is going to be ugly.
Yeah.
What are we watching? Are you going to show us something here, BP, or are we just going to sit on that?
No. Oh.
Push play.
Play. There you go. Okay.
Very nice.
Benny.
Oh, that's right. No, 2 buttons. Stop. Play.
Very
2 buttons.
good. There you go. Oh, he's
Okay.
slow motion even.
Look at this.
Very nice.
It's a nice
Okay,
shot.
back to
of
the race.
break.
Not your deal. Go find another job.
Okay.
All right, this is 8th place. Matt Kenseth continuing to push toward the front. Tell you what, some of these guys who have not pitted yet, like our leaders.
I'd like to know, hey, Marty. I know you got a report on the 5 car, but when are these guys going to come in and pit?
Well, I think they're going to try and wait till the next caution. I was going to ask Butch Hilton that very question in just a moment. Kevin Harvick is currently running in the now 4th position. He's fallen back. His car's a little bit too loose. But talking about the 5 car, Brian Vickers, they came here and tested Wally, ran a lot of laps. They actually wanted to run at night, but they got rained out 2 nights in a row, so they never got to run here at night. So my question is for you guys, do you really learn a lot by testing here during the day when you're racing at night?
I think the reality of it is whatever you have during the daytime, you know that your balance is going to be tighter at night. This track always seems to tighten up in the evening, so it seems like if your car is just a little bit on the free side, you end up being all right.
Whoa, caution. Car on the wall, Randy McDonald, turn 3.
Okay. Well, Marty was right on his pit information.
Right on. I think I'll just wait till the yellow comes down.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. Be a long wait or a short wait.
I'm not going to pit under this caution. I'm going to wait till it goes back green, then I'm coming in.
I don't want you as my crew chief. Caution is out, lap 103. Randy McDonald finding the safer barrier in turn number 4. This isn't a BP replay, I don't think.
He may get a bump here. I can feel a
help.
bump getting up.
Yeah, kneeled.
Yes, he did.
And that's going to leave a mark. And watch this with Johnny Sauter. Scuff, just a scuff. And now the leader's on pit road. Dave?
Right as the caution was coming out, Johnny radioed in, I've got a flat. What a lucky break. He thought it was the right front, and they still are working on it now, guys. They're still up on the right. Now they come around to the left. A slow pit stop for the 43 guys. This is going to hurt him bad. Marty?
Loose under throttle for Bobby Hamilton Jr. running 4th. They make a wedge adjustment, also an air pressure adjustment. Just no front grip. Matty?
Crew Chief Jason Ratcliffe already going to work on that left front. David Green says the car, he's already down and away. He's going to beat everybody off the road. Since the car was free on exit, they made a wedge adjustment and also adjusted that car with air pressure.
Check the pit exit camera. David Green with that first stall. Or one of the first stalls. Yeah, he was in the very first stall. Yeah.
Second.
Scott Riggs, by the way, got lapped by the leader before that caution came out. So the championship leader is now way behind here at Richmond. David Green is out in front. 3rd driver to lead tonight. Matt Kenseth off pit road 2nd. Bobby Hamilton Jr. 3rd. Kevin Harvick 4th. Jason Keller 5th. That's Mike Bliss trying to get a lap back. How about that 10 car, Dave?
Well, they didn't get that right front shock fixed, guys, so that is still a problem for Scott.
Okay.
Well, we didn't get the mechanical help we were looking for, but we will have the aerodynamic help we're looking for now.
For the race lead, Matt Kenseth under David Green. Not yet.
And this is the hard part. Last night it was really tough in the truck race. If you had a faster truck, you could get down below these guys that run on the outside, but the grip isn't there like it is on the high side. So even though you may have a faster car, you may not be fast enough to get by.
And there's a spot right there that kills you if you're on the inside, right? Because you can't let that car.
Brian Vickers, Ron Hornaday, 5 and 2, 5th and 6th place. Hornaday's car, a little different paint job here tonight. That's the Frankie Perez paint scheme for the Chevy Rock and Roll 400 weekend. Perez, the gentleman who sang the national anthem earlier. Got a CD out. And Dave Blaney, who started 42nd in this field, right behind him, and running 8th. Also there, giving chase. Casey Kane right behind him. Vickers just not able to get through Hornaday in front of Dave Blaney.
And if you're Blaney sitting there, you really don't know what to do because they're too wide. You don't know which guy is going to get by. Is the guy on the bottom going to get clear? Is the guy on the top going to go ahead and make the guy on the bottom wear his tires out trying to get by? So which lane do you pick and where do you go? Choice is going to get a little bit easier right now, though.
Yep. So Vickers squeezes by Hornaday, picks up 6th place. Matt Kenseth is out in front, couple of laps away from halfway tonight. 108 laps to go. Time to go through the field. We set one of these up, and the caution flag didn't come out. How about that? Start with the leader's pit. Marty?
Guess what they're talking about down here, Alan?
Not fuel mileage. No.
That's exactly right. The 17 car is about 20 laps short of making it all the way on fuel mileage, but there's a lot of cars thinking they can make it all the way. They get looser the longer they run, so they started this car a little bit tight at the beginning of this run. Behind him, Bobby Hamilton Jr. P2 starts tight. P2 gets looser the longer they run. This team is going Winston Cup racing in a few weeks at the Kansas Speedway. Right behind him, Kevin Harvick on the racetrack. Not as good as they were last run, but they are very good at the beginning of a run. Car gets too loose at the end of the run, but he led the first 92 laps of the race tonight. One of the cars that thinks they might be able to make it all the way, Brian Vickers, last week's winner at Darlington. They said if they get some caution laps and he saves some fuel, they might just go all the way. Matty?
And the 37 at David Green, their plan was to stop at lap 120 and go to the finish, but that caution ruined their strategy. Now 15 laps shy. The car was loose early. Now it is extremely tight, but starting to get better, Marty.
Shane Mill brushed the wall earlier, Alan, or Matty, but the car is just a little bit tight right now. They've done a pretty good job of hanging on to it this afternoon, and they are at the same car that led the most laps at IRP and finished 4th that day, Dave.
Marty, the 43 car of Johnny Sauter was reporting that he had a brake problem, was reporting that he had an intermittent miss problem in the motor, but he switched ignition boxes, and I guess the brakes are okay because he's going by people. He just got around Jason Keller. Keller, for his part, the car is tight through the center of the corner, and he actually hit the wall on lap 131, but reported to the crew that the car is okay. Matt?
And Ron Hornaday, another guy looking to go after that championship. Right now, running in the 9th position. He's faded a little bit. The car was great earlier. Loved the way it was cutting in the center of the corner. Now the car has gone to the free side. Ricky Byers looking at making an air pressure adjustment the next stop. Dave?
Matt, Dave Blaney's car was tight, so they made a track bar adjustment, put on 4 tires, but now it's really tightening up in the center of the corner. Not enough. Alan?
There are your top 10, 21 cars on the lead lap with 101 laps to go. Matt Kenseth out in front of Bobby Hamilton Jr. by now 1.34 seconds. We continue to go through the field. 11th place, Tim Fedowa, Matt.
Having an awesome run tonight, Tim Fedowa. He's been flirting with that top 10 all night. Back on lap 105, they made a wedge adjustment and an air pressure adjustment to help the race car. It was on the tight side. Now it's even tighter. They're talking about what to do on this next stop. Meanwhile, Casey Kane, Smoke's little protege from the USAC Midgets, running very well, making its way back up through. They're talking about what to do to that race car on their next stop. The car is still a little bit on the tight side, Dave.
Same for Tony Raines, Matt. He stopped twice. He stopped on lap 37. They made a track bar and wedge adjustment. Stopped on lap 104. They made just the wedge adjustment. The car is still a little bit tight for Tony. Marty?
And David Strimmy's trying to track down Tony Raines. You see him go across the front stretch there. Car's tight in the center, loose off. That's the problem we talked about in happy hour. Started 7th, as you see, currently 14th. Dave?
Casey Atwood making a pass on the track of Casey Mears. A bit of a tight condition to start off with. Pitted on lap 37, made an air pressure adjustment. Still tight on lap 104. Made another air pressure adjustment. He hopes it's gotten fixed now. The 19th car of Casey Mears, tight from the center off the corner. How many times have we said tight tonight? Another tight race car. They took a rubber out of the left rear in Casey Mears' car to try to fix that condition. Matty?
Stacy Compton runs 17th. Back on lap 37, went up on the track bar to try to fix that tight race car. Restarted 25th, worked his way up through the field, but the car is still tight on entry and tight on the center, Dave.
Scott Riggs running with a broken right front shock, running lap times that are pretty good to keep him in line here. It's just a track position issue now for Scott. They're very happy with the car, considering the condition it was in. Marty?
Dave, I've got one more tight race car for you. Mike Wallace back there trying to get around Scott Riggs. Been fighting a tight condition all night long. This team finished 12th here in May. Currently, Mike is in the 19th position. Matt?
And the 7, he was very happy with that race car. From the back of the race car, just needed to work on the front grip a little bit, but Greg Biffle now says the car has picked up a miss in the motor. Water temperatures climbed up over 230. He repitted after that last caution to try to work on the throttle, which was starting to hang. Alan?
So Biffle off the pace and being overtaken by the race leaders and put one lap down with engine problems. Those are the now 19 lead lap cars. The red car just behind Matt Kenseth there. Steve Grissom just put a lap down. And so 19 left on the same lap. And I'll tell you what, Johnny Sauter's marching again. We'll talk about him when we come back to Richmond. Kenseth leads, 94 laps to go. Johnny Sauter is charging back up. Restarted 16th at lap 111. He's now 6th at lap 165 and working on David Green in that 37 car for 5th. How about 43, Dave?
Well, he radioed into his crew that the car was pushing just a little bit. They also said, guys, and he said it real nice, I really don't care to hear my lap times. Then just about a lap later, they radioed to him, leader running 22.60, you a 22.20, and he didn't shout him down. So I guess the encouragement was okay with Johnny.
I think it's safe to say, though, he has passed more cars tonight than any other driver in the race.
He's traveled more than anyone. Well, I mean, when you're running that good, you don't really need to hear your lap times because you're passing everybody.
Well, and the reason you don't need the lap times is because you're really not trying to run a specific lap time. You're busy in traffic anyway, so you're doing what you have to do to get by the traffic.
Now, do you like, I mean, when I drive, I don't like to hear anything. Some guys talk all the time. Do you like people talking to you a lot, or?
I like when I get by myself. You know, if you just pass somebody and you're a couple seconds behind the next car, I like for Zippy to give me my lap time so I know if there's a spot on the racetrack and my times have fallen off a couple tenths, maybe I can move around and have the flexibility to try a different line and see how it compares to the lap before to see if you can pick up time or a spot that loses time. So it gives you an opportunity to kind of compare what you're doing there.
Sauter's biggest problem right now is finding some free racetrack to try and make this move around David Green. Now, if you're Johnny Sauter, you clearly have one of the best cars on the racetrack tonight, if not the best, and you end up finishing 4th or 3rd. Are you happy because you had such a great car and everybody knew you were there, or are you really, really mad because you had a car that could win the race and it didn't happen?
If I'm Johnny Sauter and I'm as competitive as I know that he is, I'll be frustrated tonight, tomorrow, for the next 3 days because you know that you had the fastest car, and knowing that you have the fastest car and didn't win, somebody has to answer to that.
Definitely. It's what if. I mean, you know you got the car to win, but even, second place is not going to be good enough because you know you had the car to win.
He's hung up behind David Green right now. When they're in traffic, he closes in on him, but when they get out, well, here he goes. David got a little wide there. And Johnny Sauter's going to go by David Green and pick up 5th. How about that 37 car, Matty?
Even though he gave up that spot to Johnny Sauter, David Green says the car is starting to come to him. Remember, we told you he was tight when we were doing the through the field, but this team is throwing everything at winning that championship. They entered tonight 19 points out of 1st. They've got a brand new drop snout chassis. Also changed engine programs, at least for tonight. They've got a DEI engine versus the their Bill Davis engine program, which they won twice this year with. But they feel like the 5-car Brian Vickers is coming in that championship chase. They have to try everything. They can't play it conservative if they're going to win the championship this year.
So David Green running 6 now.
Whoa,
Scott
Johnny.
Riggs.
Uh-oh. You got a flat tire? Or now he just got up on the...
He's checking it, wiggling that wheel back and forth, trying to get the junk off him.
Oh, that thing is... Boy, when you get that stuff on your tires...
I didn't make out what
I
he
didn't hear what he
said
said either.
there. Yeah.
We'll give him another lap and then check his lap times, but I'm pretty sure it looks like it's all right.
So Sauter giving the 5th place that he worked so hard to get back up to David Green, but not losing anything more. Jason Keller in 7th, right behind him. But what that lost time might have cost him was any chance to catch Matt Kenseth. Because now he's 8.7 seconds behind him. Well, then again, everybody's got to make another pit stop, right? We're not hearing anybody saying they can go to the finish if we don't see another yellow.
That's great. I'm tired of hearing about fuel mileage.
Yeah, I know you are.
Fastest car.
Okay, so
his tires are...
everything's fine.
Good.
Johnny Sauter splitting his time between this ride for Kerry Agajanian and the 21 car for Richard Childress that Kevin Harvick is driving tonight. I imagine that's got to be a little bit different because each team has its different style. Each team, you know, the crew chiefs have their own way. The cars might be constructed a little different. That must be a little bit unusual for a driver to shuttle back and forth between rides like that, would you say?
To a certain degree, but I mean, by the time drivers have got to this level, they're used to driving for multiple car owners and sometimes even more than 2 car owners in the same year. So it's probably not the ideal situation. You'd love to be driving for the same team in all the races, but having 2 great teams to drive for like that, you know, you can get by pretty easy, I think.
Heard David Green, the report from his pit by Matty there that the track was coming to him. He's caught Brian Vickers to race him for 4th. How about the caution? Turn 2, got a car up there scraping along the wall. It was Casey Mears.
Yep.
Knocked in the right front corner. On the target.
Oh, hang on, Casey.
He's still...
Something broke on the thing.
I'd say
It looks like it's towed out a little bit.
The tire's pointing northwest, and it's...
I just turned going in and jumped sideways off me.
So caution number 4 is out in this race.
Your steering all messed up?
Yes.
Yeah, it's all messed up. I hit the wall pretty good. Take it to the garage.
And the fuel mileage
lose
is
it or what
now
happened?
out of the question.
I don't know. It felt like something went bad because all of a sudden, as soon as I start to cut the wheel, it just jumped sideways going in.
So they'll all come to pit road here. They'll all take tires, all the lead lap cars, all 16 of them. And what about Scott Riggs? He was about to get lapped by Matt Kenseth, and the caution came out. And they get another chance to come back around and make up 3/4 of a mile and put some fresh tires on it. Dave?
All they told him was 4 tires and 1 can of gas. If they made any change to fix the pushing condition, it's a slight air pressure change. Marty?
Matt Kenseth came on the radio today, said, I know how to win this race. Just give me 4 tires faster than everyone else. It'll be 4 tires, no chassis adjustments for Matt Kenseth. Matt?
And David Green slides to a stop. You can see the wedge wrench go in the back window. They're going to adjust that car. He said it was snug in the center. Not that bad off, though. If you can just fix that snug in the center, the 17 is going to beat the 37 off. The 21 is going to be a little bit of trouble on that left front for Jason Ratcliffe. A number of cars is going to beat the 37 off pit road.
That's going to be close there for 3rd pit exit. We'll check it when we come back. Actually, we'll check it right now. How's that?
Ooh, look at this.
This is for 3rd place. I want to call that one. I'll give that to Vickers.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Then Green, then Hamilton Jr.
Well done, boys.
We're back in Richmond. We're under caution. The championship leader, Scott Riggs, is involved again. He had lost a number of spots over the last lap, and a lot of sparks were showing from under the right front corner of his car. He was trying to get to pit road, but he wasn't clear of traffic.
Yeah, something's definitely
We thought the right front was down, but it looks like it's actually up and, well, it is going down now.
Remember, we got the report from pit road that they had a shock that was broken?
Well,
Well, they got all kinds of broken stuff now.
Yeah, look at that. All right, let's go back and reconstruct this for you here. Here's Riggs. He's losing all those spots to those cars on the inside. Watch the sparks when he goes into one.
Yeah, that's something breaking, I would think. I mean,
It could be the tire going down and he's just not seeing it flat yet, but his crew has already called him on the radio, called for 2 right side tires, and he's trying to get down the pit lane, but he's got all these cars coming.
And Mike Bliss.
Poor Mike Bliss, nowhere to go.
Ends up on top of him. That was Jay Sauter that caught a piece of Bliss going by and spun off turn 4.
Not clear.
With 15 laps to go, working through some lap traffic, 0.7 of a second his advantage over Matt Kenseth, with Kevin Harvick running third. When the NASCAR Busch Series is run in conjunction with the Winston Cup Series this season, 17 races, only 3 of them have been won by Busch Series regulars. Bobby Hamilton Jr. at Chicago, David Green at New Hampshire, Brian Vickers last week at Darlington, Johnny Sauter bidding to add his name to that list. Best come from behind win. Bobby Hamilton and Harry Gant started 29th. September's 89 and 91. Johnny Sauter started 30th. That would be Patrick and the boys down in graphics that BP was interrupting earlier.
The BP is no longer in the graphic.
It was spelled correctly, so.
Somebody knows he's in there.
He's out of there.
He's moved on to another job here. We may see it before the end of the night. Not sure.
About the only thing he hasn't done is drive the production truck.
Caution. Greg Biffle. His engine's finally given up. Remember, we heard a long time ago that the water temperature was going up, and it has given up with 12 laps to go. Don't you know that's the last thing Johnny Sauter wanted to see?
Well, you can look at it 2 ways. No lap traffic, 17 laps, hopefully a clear track.
Yep, that's could be a good thing.
So caution's out. We'll take advantage, get a break in here. We'll come back and set up the final dash to the finish tonight here in Richmond.
Well, let's see if Matt Kenseth thinks they can get by him. Cully, can you guys get by Johnny Sauter here?
It'll be on the restart or not at all.
There you go, on the restart or not at all. Matt said that he noticed last time that Sauter spun his tires, but he said, so did I, so I don't think anyone's got an advantage here.
This is going to be fun to watch because, like I said, that 43 car's had a hard time on these restarts. And I think the 17 car knows it.
And the restart comes with 7 laps to go. Johnny Sauter trying to hold off the Winston Cuppers, Matt Kenseth and Kevin Harvick for the win.
He spun him again.
Yeah, sure did. Got away with it.
Got a little oil dry on the track. Look at Kenseth. Jump to the outside. Side by side for the lead.
Hang on.
What a
That was
save.
great. That's good stuff
Here
right
comes
there.
Kevin Harvick, 3 wide for the race lead.
This won't work.
Sure it will. 3 really talented drivers right there.
Oh,
You got it. You're the man.
Shane Meal.
Make that 4 talented.
Oh, he gets Jason Keller hard into the wall. Caution is out.
Boy, there's a lot of debris down there, too.
Oh, easy.
Jason Keller, one of the contenders for the NASCAR Busch Series Championship, crashed heavily
There's trash everywhere up here, but they don't stop it.
with 5 laps to go. The pace car is out in front of the field and stopping them on the back straightaway. If they had come around one more time, they'd have been beyond the point where NASCAR would have put the red flag out to stop the race. 3-lap sprint to the finish. Single file restart, lead lap cars at the front.
No, the adrenaline's not pumping now.
Tell you one thing, I'm nervous, and I'm not driving either one of those cars.
Belts are getting tight. A couple of deep breaths. Look in the mirror.
No, don't look in the mirror.
Don't look in the mirror
right now. Concentrate on the restart, and if if I'm Johnny Sauter, that's what I'm worried about, trying to figure out what I've got to do to get a good restart, maybe even choke up Matt Kenseth on it.
Got a slow car in the back straightaway. Tammy Jo Kirk not sure she's under power. Don't know if we'll get all 3 of these laps green to the finish, but here we go. Johnny Sauter, Matt Kenseth, Kevin Harvick.
Oh, Matt is... Oh, I thought Matt had a run there for a second on that hot.
49 car turned off on the back straightaway in an opening for the rescue vehicles. We're under green. Kenseth outside. 2 laps to go. Matt Kenseth on the outside of Johnny Sauter.
Johnny's got a hold. Just
Can't do it. Nope. Kenseth has led the most laps tonight, 114 of the 248 that have been run. These last 2 might be the most important. Trouble behind him. David Stremmy's been scuffed up into the outside wall. He keeps going. We stay under green. We're on the last lap. Sauter with a chance to try and come back. Will he put the bumper to him in 3? Looking low. He hit him. Kenseth up the racetrack. Johnny Sauter's going to come through to the checkered flag.
You think Matt was He's mad now.
Kenseth came home 6th. And Kenseth is not done yet.
No, he's looking for
Oh boy, here we go. Harvick, is that Harvick giving him thumbs up? Yeah.
I don't think he was.
Yeah, I thought Harvick was giving him the thumbs up. Oh, what was that? Whoa. Harvick is running interference for his Richard Childress teammate.
I will say that my only opportunity, my only chance to win a Busch Grand National race with the Shell team and Joe Gibbs race in the 3 and 4, and Matt Kenseth gave me the first Busch race, so things kind of make full circle eventually, and he had to know what was coming there. I mean, he didn't wreck him, and he didn't try to wreck him, he just tried to get by.
What was it? Was that Rockingham?
Rockingham.
See, I don't remember. Nobody told
Johnny. Johnny's going to the old victory lane. They've moved victory lane here in Richmond.
Well, when you're 25 years old and you get your 2nd career win, you can probably expect a celebration something like this. Johnny Sauter started 30th today, the furthest back a Busch Series winner has ever started here at Richmond, and won the race. Tell me about the pass for the lead to win the race. Johnny, was it intentional contact with the 17?
Absolutely. Matt Kenseth thinks he can push me around. I don't know why, but I've been sick all week and just been behind a little bit, you know, driving triple duty. I drove the truck race last night, but damn proud of these guys. I mean, we caught rain, qualifying rained out. We was in the back, and got to thank Channel Lock. I mean, if people knew what we were doing this on for a budget, they'd probably crap their pants. But Channel Lock, Kelly Technologies, Mike Curb Records, you know, Dr. Pepper, everybody that helps this deal, and Chevrolet, I got to thank Chevrolet. They're a big part of this.
Was it a result of the 17 pushing you under caution?
Absolutely. I mean, my car took a while to get going on the green flag run, and it's been that way all night long. And thank God this Wagner motor was stout enough to pull me up. And, you know, Matt didn't have to run into me like that. And if he wants to race that way, we can race that way. You know, he ain't going to push me around.
Kevin Harvick came to visit you. What did he say?
Just said I was a man, and you know, me and Kevin are trying to win that owner's championship with 21 payday car, and those guys had a great run. Thanks to Kevin and all those guys, Busch, and you know, they let me go by there and get a good run at Matt's, and just been a damn awesome evening, and I'm just so proud of these guys. Joe Shear, he deserves a lot of credit for this win, and just so many people I want to thank. Kerry Agajanian. It's unbelievable. I'm not even supposed to be here, so just to be here is awesome.
Oh, this is going to be good. David Green, now the new championship leader. Riggs falling all the way back to 3rd as a result of his night tonight. 1 spot ahead of Ron Hornaday.
So those guys will be looking over each other's shoulder for the next few races.
Johnny Sauter with the win tonight. 2nd NASCAR Busch Series victory. 15th different winner in 2003. Casey Atwood, nice job. Lead lap tonight. David Stremme limping across last on the lead lap with that flat tire that he got, bouncing off the wall coming to the white flag. Jason Keller 21st after the late crash.